I used to be renowned for having a really good memory. I could remember anything from months ago, people's names, but suddenly I'd be sat in a meeting and halfway through a sentence I'd forget the most silly of words, and that was when something hit me that it wasn't quite right. This is where I had my first experience of what dementia can do to your brain. The time I came out of my office and didn't have a clue where I was. And I didn't know who all the voices belonged to that I could hear. I was just lost. I stood here and just froze for a second. I decided to walk away and down the corridor, hoping that no one would come out and say hello or notice that there was something wrong. But I thought if I walked down the corridor, then I would be able to hide away for a few minutes or however long it would take for the fog to clear. And so I went through the end door and into the washroom, because that was the only door that was a locked door. I stayed in here for what seemed like forever, but it was probably only 3 to 4 minutes. And after that time, it's suddenly like the fog's clearing, the mist has lifted. It makes your heart thump, let's put it like that.
Did you have a family history of Alzheimer's at all?
No, nothing whatsoever. And I didn't drink, don't smoke, have a wonderful diet, used to run every other day, but I've still got Alzheimer's. We all have our different ways of coping. I've got this thing on my fridge door, put on it each day what I'm supposed to be doing or where I am. I've also got photos everywhere. Here's my daughters with me. Photos always make you feel happy. And we have the ubiquitous pill box. This one's the morning pill box. That's why it's down here next to the kettle. Anywhere else and I'd forget to take it. When they actually diagnosed me, in a bizarre sort of way, it was actually quite a relief, because it put an end to all the ifs and buts and maybes. It brings a conclusion, an end, if you like, to the not knowing, and a start to the building a new life. For those of us living with dementia, our memories are our most valued possessions. So here in this room, I have pictures on the wall, pictures of people, of family and friends. So when I forget where all these places are, or the names of the people on the pictures, when I stand here and look at them, all I feel is one of happiness. Because when we lose our memories, it doesn't mean we lose emotions that we feel inside. Well, to my way of thinking, you have to think of any positive you can to having such a cruel disease. And I love Great British Bake Off. Love, 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 love Great British Bake Off. And everybody talks about the sadness and the emptiness when the final comes and you know that it's not going to be on again next week. Well, I can just start watching it from the beginning again and not remember who won or who gets knocked out each week. So I'm never without the Great British Bake Off. I have 3 biggest fears. The one is going over the edge into someone else that I don't recognise. The other fear is losing my independence. And the final one is not recognising the two people that mean so much to me. I've said to them that, you know, one day I won't know, you'll come in the room and I won't know who you are, I won't know your name, but I'm sure I'll feel that emotional connection of love that we have for each other, and for them to always remember that even though I won't recognise them, I still love them.
I'm 58 years of age, and until 4 years ago I was a head teacher of a large primary school in Canterbury. I'd been a teacher for well over 30 years, all in primary schools. 4 years ago I was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. Dear Diary, this morning I went for a beach walk. I've been thinking recently and reflecting upon what it's like to live with dementia. And I suppose the honest answer is it's up and down. Some days are, as we've said before, like the sunshine and they're clear and good days. Other days the fog descends. And I have to say that recently there's been more foggy days than I had previously. My word retrieval isn't as good. People say to me, well, sometimes we would hardly know you've got dementia, and that's true. On good days I cope very, very well. On other days, I'm less good, but they're the days I tend to withdraw into myself so that people from outside don't see me.
Is it frustrating?
Extremely frustrating. It is extremely frustrating. And it makes me angry as well. It makes me angry that I'm not better able to deal with it. It's Sunday morning now. I'm just going to talk to you about my early morning ritual in the bathroom. It's not as bad as it sounds. For some time I've struggled to remember whether I've cleaned my teeth, shaved, combed my hair in the morning when I get up. So what I now do is I put everything out of the box, use it, and as I've used it, place it back in the box again. So when I've cleaned my teeth, the toothbrush goes back in. When I've shaved, all the shaving stuff goes back in. It's developing little strategies like that that allow me to live independently and to live well. I will now not remember often what people have said to me and what I've said to them, but I will remember the conversation, how it made me feel and how that person made me feel. And that is quite different from previously.
How much of this conversation do you think you remember, Keith?
Very little. Very little, in all honesty.
Will you remember how it made you feel?
Yes. I will remember how this made me feel. And to answer that more fully, it's making me feel very positive, because I think that by sharing these thoughts, it's helping me and hopefully helping other people who will hear this and watch this.
I want to just keep on going. I'm not going to stop. But at some point they might say that there's a hits you on there. That's when you've got to decide what you're going to do.
Yes, so you have to cope.
You have to cope, yes. Yeah.
Breakfast, and Christopher put the honeycomb on his toast and then looked at me just now and said, you were a bit confused, you said, didn't you?
Yeah.
A bit confused. So, in the end, decided to put the butter on top of the honey, and of course it doesn't matter. You learn these things, it's of no consequence. And so I said, do you mind being confused? Is that a worry to you? And what was it you said? Can you remember? You said,
I
you
said,
just do something else, you said, didn't you?
yes, something like that.
If you're confused, you just do something else.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, you've done lots of things, but in the middle of your working career, you made boats for 10 years.
Yes.
And you were a magistrate.
Yes, magistrate.
And when you were a magistrate, you realised that things weren't quite.
That is right, that is true. Yeah.
Things were passing you by, is how you put it.
Yes, yeah.
So you never know who you put away or didn't.
No.
You don't really want to dwell too much on what it should have been like, what it would have been like if you hadn't got it. And when you first get it, people say, oh, I always forget what I've gone upstairs to collect. You know, it's different. And I used to say to people, it's different. You can go and do something, and then, of course, the moment we get in the car, it's gone.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Which is quite shattering, actually, for a bit, till you get used to it. We get used to most things, don't we?
Yeah.
Wonderful afternoon, but the sun's just gone down. What is it, darling? What are we looking at? It's a beautiful moon.
Moon, yes.
I hope it comes out, because it is quite spectacular.
Isn't it? Wonderful.
It may be too early. But you remember what it is now?
Yes.
What is it we're looking at?
We're looking at
It's the moon, isn't it?
Moon, yes.
Yes. To live in a beautiful place like this, I think, adds to sometimes the sadness that we can't enjoy some of the things that we thought we would, but I think basically it's a huge help to be in a lovely place.
Do you find it difficult to say to yourself, I've got to be positive, I must be like you are?
Well, I mean, I just want to keep on going, because if I come and hit something or do something, can't go that, can't do this, there's something there I can, and so you crack on.
Does it scare you, Christopher?
No. Because if it happens, and chances are, comes, oh, I know that. They get a friend or something.
But does the Alzheimer's scare you? Does it scare you to think that you've lost memories? And
No, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. Because, I mean, I've done that. What's in the back of me is the hell of it. I mean, this is always something, always going forward.